we are expecting to have influx of visitors, both from foreign tourists and even domestic. So with the expansion of the new airport that we have, it can accommodate now around 22 million passengers, local and domestic domestic and international alike annually. So that's something, no? So in terms of accessibility, we're accessible to all people within the country and even outside. Number two is the great labor force. So we all know that Cebu is a haven to uh, hundreds of BPO and IT company. No? So we rank second to Manila as one of the leading cities in the outsourcing industry. So our labor force here why the things that investors are looking is this particular area, no? So that more and more IT and BPO companies are setting up their offices here in Cebu. The third is the increasing tourism. So in 2019, DOT mentioned or DOT recorded 2.8 international tourists coming in Cebu and 2.7 local tourists, no, alike. So they're great resources. So we have outstanding beach lines here. We also have a very colorful culture. That actually you look and all number capital region cities, no, we are a cosmopolitan city, so it's a bustling cosmopolitan life. So we have plenty of malls here. Even malls from Manila are coming over to Cebu. So you have Abayala, you have SM, you have Robinsons, and we even have local malls competing left and right. So they are mushrooming even to the to the outskirts of peace of mind when it comes to investing. Diba? Ayaw naman nila na at any time magugulo yung isip nila na yung area na ininvesta nila ay magulo. So they would want. So I'm happy to note that Cebu also prides being one of the most peaceful areas in the Philippines. Alam mo ba that the crime rate of Cebu is one something also that actually parang naiisip ng mga investors why they are choosing this place as an investment haven. Increase in local migration. The NSO has reported that yearly there is an increase of like 5.4% in terms of local migration. So there are more and more people coming to Cebu looking for jobs, planning to stay here. Others for good, others for just a short time. So we are looking at that. So this is good news to developers because there is business continuity in this sense, no? Diba? So developers are continuing for these local migrants, as well as there's also a study that says that of the increase, 60% are choosing to that more and more investors are buying properties because they wanted to cater to these people who are choosing to rent, no? Who are choosing to rent in Cebu. So those are the reasons why Cebu is becoming an investment haven. So what's the real estate driver of Cebu? So there are three key real estate drivers of Cebu. So number one is the booming IT and BPO industry. So with that, we have um, more and more, our investors are becoming younger because more and more uh, people in that age range between 30 to 40 are investing, and some of these are belongs to the IT or the BPO industry. Number two is the strategic location, and number three is the manpower. Now, just to show to you the landscape of Cebu, no? Just to give you some information of what's the landscape of Cebu in terms of the office sector. 50% of the offices are being leased by the BPO voice companies. Another 20% from the POGOs or the offshore gambling. Another 20% from the KPO or the knowledge process outsourcing, and only 5% for companies ranging from startups, law firms, and the like. So that's the landscape of the office sector. This is according to Colliers in their 2018 studies. For the residential sector, there are more condominiums in houses and lots. And there's a total condominium of 33,000 units, of which 80% are sold out. So if you look at this percentage, no, of those sold out, you really see that there's demand. No, there's demand for developers to build more condominium, and then take for condos are faster versus house and lot. So madaling matirhan ang condos versus house and lot. And then the condos average monthly take up is around 42 units. No? If you look at also the retail sector, Cebu's retail stock is now at 1 million square meter. So it's double the level. And both local and national players are competing against each other. Malls that are found in Manila can also be found now in Cebu. Isang di ko nakikita yung pure gold of which narinig ko lang, but we have no if there. Now, for the buyer composition, of course, this is before COVID. I don't know. There will be some changes, no? As, uh, as, as we go along with our business. The sweet spot now, similar to this comprises the young professionals, and starter families. We experienced the East Asians who are buying bulks of inventories from us. So we have and this group 0.5% affordable, 12% for mid, and another 12% for high end. Now, just to share to you that there are national structures of which Cebu is recipient of that actually propels the real estate market of good. What are these? Example, the expansion of the airport. When before we can only accommodate like 10 to 12 million passengers, total international and both domestic flights. Right now, with the expansion, it can accommodate up to 22 million passengers annually. So that's the more tourists coming. Number two is, of course, the Cordova Link Expressway project at this time. So if you, uh, for the information of everyone, is an 8.5 kilometer and island from the points of SRP, no, from South Road Properties to Cordova. So what's the advantage of it? Will decongest the traffic in the two bridges that we have, the first and the first bridge and the second bridge, the uh, the Fernand Bridge, no, Marcelo Fernand Bridge, the first bridge that we have. So it will decongest traffic. Number two, it will have easier access for people from the southern part of Cebu City to access the airport, because the airport is located in Mactan Island. No? So that is the advantage of this particular project. And apparently, the timeline for completion of this particular project is around 2021, March 2021. We don't have news yet if there's a setback as to the completion date, but that was their initially proposed timeline. Right now, it's around 48% completed. So it's an ongoing project here in Cebu. Then there's that new Cebu International Container Port in Consolacion. So this is a 10.1 billion project. It's built on a 25-hectare property in Consolacion, of which this facility can actually accommodate like around 2,020 feet equivalent unit vessels. No? So you can just imagine how this will actually help us with our economy. Number four, of course, you have this one. Kasi di ba, with the COVID, President Duterte announced that there are some projects that will not be pushed through, but fortunately, this is not among the things that were slashed by President Duterte. So I am expecting, Cebuanos are expecting this really push through. This is the 3.75 kilometer Metro Cebu Expressway that will connect the northern part of Cebu to the southern part from Danao City to Naga City. So with the current situation, considering traffic, going from that point, Danao to Naga will take one person around 3 to 4 hours, no, of travel through land-based, no, travel. But with this expressway, it will cut the travel time to half. No? So instead of the 3-hour travel time, it will cut it to half. So magiging like 1 hour and a half na lang, or even 1 hour and 25 minutes. So that's a very welcomed project, no, from the national government. Number 5 is the bus rapid transit, or the BRT, of which SRP is one of those na yung first phase of the BRT will actually. So we're excited because aside from decongesting the traffic in Cebu, this will also add, it will really enhance the mass transit of Cebu. Now, I would also want to show to you the dynamics of Cebu trade and industry and the real estate landscape. So if on the left side is the Cebu province, and the highlighted one is the map of Cebu City. On the right side is actually the closer view of that map. No? So throughout times, Cebu has a very dynamic trade and industry. So the center of trade in Cebu has actually changed over time. So just to show you, in year 1900s, not early, even early 1900s to 1950s, the center of trade in Cebu was actually downtown Cebu, or what we know as Colon. So that was the oldest street. That's the oldest street named after Christopher Columbus, not Colon, and where trade really is being conducted. That was until 1950s. No? Unfortunately, right now, Colon has a very bad reputation. No? Wala na masyadong pumupunta. Although, meron pa rin. But we have changed already. In 1960s, the center of trade has already transferred to the uptown Cebu, to uptown Cebu, and that is actually in Fuente, wherein you see there in Fuente, you see there, you see Tas Bazaar, you see what else, Robinsons, and other businesses there. No? So it's transferred to Uptown Cebu. That's in 1960s to 1980s. In 1990s, the center of trade was transferred to Cebu Business Park. No? So instead of from Fuente, nag-transfer ang center of trade to Cebu Business Park. And then in year 2010, it once again transferred to Cebu Asia Town IT Park. So marami na ring business there, no? So it's becoming a hub to different BPO and IT companies, as well as residential condominiums. But in year 2020 and onwards, it is projected that the center of trade in Cebu will be transferred in two areas. And what are these? First is the North Reclamation Area, and the other one is in South Road Properties. So look at North Reclamation Area. North Reclamation Area is where Park Mall is, where Cebu Doctors University is, Chongwa Hospital, UC Med, Bay Hotel, Mandani Bay, Big Hotel, and the Gatewalk Central Cebu. But in South Road Properties, you have the major developers also. You have SM, with it's already operating as a mall, and then soon they will also be putting up their residential condos. There's that University of the Philippines. There's our development, City de Mare, which is a township development, and it's not just purely residential condos in there. Since it's a township, it's a complete component. And then there's Il Corso, our commercial complement. There's Ocean Park, which just softly opened in 2019. So I know you're aware of this, Ocean Park, Bigfoot, SMX, which is a future development, and also another future development, Isla Victoria, of JG Summit Holdings. So these two are eyed to be the new business districts of Cebu. So this will be the future of Cebu. I am excited to present to you this because our property is actually located in the South Road Properties. Now, just to differentiate between and to compare, North Reclamation Area was developed first, but it took a while for the North Reclamation Area to really fully develop. The reason of which is because when the property was reclaimed, it was sold to anyone and everyone, to stakeholders who would like to get a piece of that property. So what happened? So there were even those small-time investors just buying a piece of property and waiting for that to escalate, waiting for the appreciation value of that property. So everybody was in wait and see. So that's why even if the North Reclamation Area was way way older than the South Road Properties, however, you can really you can see that development there did not shoot up immediately. So it took a while for the properties there to develop. Now, what happened to South Road Properties? South Road Properties is actually the brainchild of the former mayor Tomas Osmeña, and he told us this anecdote. No, when he envisioned South Road properties, he said this will be the total antithesis of the reclamation area. So in order for them to achieve this, they made sure that they have guidelines, and they have they make sure that they have guidelines on how to develop the area and who can actually purchase a property in that area. So what are the guidelines that are being set? So SRP follow suit what happened to the North Reclamation Area, which actually took so long to develop. So number one consideration or guideline is you cannot buy a piece of property in SRP not unless the minimum is 20 hectares. So there's a minimum area that is suggested or that is required before you can purchase or bid a property there. So, di lang pwede na 1,000 square meter, you can't just buy like that, no? So it has to be 20 hectares minimum. And who can buy that? Of course, it should be big developers or those who have the capability to really build big developments or master plan development. Number two requirement of Tomas Osmeña, you cannot buy a property in South Road properties not unless that purchase property will have a master plan and the city government will approve of that master plan. So first is the area requirement. Second is the requirement that it should be fully master planned. So it must be submitted to the city for them to approve. And third requirement is you cannot buy a property not unless your master plan development will be executed or implemented within 5 years. So there is a timeline. So meaning if you buy or purchase a property in SRP, you cannot just leave that unattended or leave that for the property to storage, no, or to appreciate. No? So there is no room for those kind of stakeholders. SRP is planned to really bring about more development in that area. So that's the difference between the North Reclamation and the Southward property. So if you ask me which is better to invest, now I leave that question to you. Okay? So next, let's talk extensively about SRP because as I've said, diba, when you're going to sell a master plan, when you're going to sell a city development or a property within a township development, what you do is try to make the buyer envision or try to make the buyer visualize what's going to happen in that area so that they will get excited and they will really, feel that what they're buying is a worthwhile investment. So let's talk extensively about where our development is located, the South Road properties. This is the SRP or the South Road properties. It's a 300-hectare reclamation project of the city government of Cebu. So you're saying, oh, is this a reclaimed property? So is this safe? Now I tell you, reclamation now is an internationally accepted means of expanding your land area. So other progressive countries or nations are doing reclamation. You look at Dubai, making another island out of reclamation. You look at Singapore, expanding their land area to like 30% through reclamation. So it's a safe, and it's an internationally accepted method of expanding the area. So in this case, this is a reclamation project of the Cebu city government, and it's the 10th largest artificial island in the world now. So with 300 hectares. So it's a big property. But out of that 300 hectares, we're so proud Filinvest was able to gather, or was able to get like a chunk of 70 hectares, or close to 20, more than 20% of the entire area. No? So this is one of the most ambitious projects the city government of Cebu, and the budget was around 12 billion yen way back then. So this was a loan to the city government by JBIC, and the construction company that actually undertakes the reclamation is JICA. So it's a Japanese company. It's fully master plan. If you look at the entire of Cebu, you can never see a property similar to the South Road properties that is really fully master plan. What am I saying that this is fully master plan? This is separate from the island, separate from the mainland island, right? And when this was conceptualized, everything that's going to happen inside SRP was already foreseen and was already planned, pre-planned by the city government. Example, how big the roads are, what are the different facilities that will be installed there. For example, there's a water desalination plant inside SRP that actually makes it resistant to drought or to any water shortage. Magka-shortage na sa buong Cebu City, but sa SRP walang shortage. Why? Because it has its own water desal plant. No? It converts salt water into potable water via reverse osmosis. So that's actually the concept here, no? To make SRP into a smart city. So this is actually the vision of the former Mayor Tomas Osmeña, making SRP into a smart city. So what's a smart city? Smart city is like BGC, Bonifacio Global City. No? Smart city is like Makati, a portion in Makati. Smart city is a developed urban area that creates sustainable economic and high quality of life by excelling in key areas like economy, mobility, social capital, and or ICT infrastructure. So if this is the plan of the city for SRT to become, my God, I tell you, you tell your buyers, you tell your investors, this is pala the best investment that you can offer to them. No? Because they are not just buying a piece of property inside a condominium, but they are actually buying the future at today's price. They're buying the future, because if you're looking at SRP being the next big thing in Cebu, then your buyer is actually sharing or investing in that big thing at this time, at the present price. No? So this is the road network system in SRP. So the roads are wide. No? There's already there's the plan of a what's this? Aside from desalination plant, there's also a water treatment facility there. There's a drainage system there. No, all these things are already pre-planned. So the plan also for the mode of transportation there is it should be via the BRT. No? So walang mga jeepneys, walang mga tricycles inside SRT. So only private cars, or only the BRT, the future BRT transit that will be happening there. But for now, it's SM who's the My Bus, no? Who's providing transportation inside SRT. This is the water desalination system. And then this is the entire map. So if you look at the entire map, you look at the map, this is our property here. Can you see my cursor? So this is our property here, 50.6 hectare township development known as City de Mare. 10.6 hectare commercial or Il Corto, and 40 hectares residential. You also have institution and offices and on this area. Now, you might ask, what's beside us? This property is around 19.7 hectares. This is actually a newly purchased property by Filinvest. So if you add that to our current, we are now a total of 70 hectares in the entire SRP. Just beside our development is UP, no? The University of the Philippines. So it's already an existing and an operating campus, no? This one here. And then few meters away from our development is SM Seaside City, this one. And it's already operating its mall. So if you can also look at the master plan of SM, they also have a plan to put in their area some residential condos. There's already a church in their area. No? There's a church. There's going to be a school as well. No? And then just beside SM Seaside is a joint venture project between SM and Ayala. This one. This is the SMX, no? Wherein the plan is also to build the biggest convention center, the SMX, no? In this area. And they are currently doing the groundworks prior to the lockdown. So I don't have any news yet as to when is the target date of completion of their project. Yeah. And there are still other locators as well, no? Inside SRP. So just to mention to you the different locators for you to get excited, no? What's in there? So of course we have our own township development, City de Mare inside. You also have Il Corso, our commercial complement. You have SM Seaside, as mentioned. We have Ocean Park, which is softly opened last year, September. No, unfortunately, it has to close down because of COVID. And then UP, which is already an existing campus now. And of course, future development, because the CC Lex or the Cebu Cordova Link Expressway will actually connect Cebu and Cordova or Mactan, flying to SRP. So this will really be in SRP also, no? So you can just imagine more and more people coming into SRP because they would want also to go to Mactan Island. And then future development is the Isla Victoria of JG Summit, of which they have plans to build hotels, to build casinos, and other and convention center from what I've heard of. And the MX, this one is what I've mentioned a while ago, the SM Ayala Consortium. Okay, so please, when you are selling or Amalfi, you have to tell them the story of SRP. Tell them what SRP will become like 5 to 10 years from now. And tell them the possibility of their investment should all of this development will already be completed. Now, there is just one word I can tell you about SRP, and that is incremental property value to your buyers. If your buyers are looking at a story similar to that of the Cebu Business District, if you remember way back 1990s, no? When SM bought that property there, which is now called the Cebu Business Park, when Ayala bought the property there, known as the Cebu Business Park, they bought that from the province of, from the city, that used to be a marshland there, that used to be a marshland, and for only like 2,000 per square meter. And then they developed that area. After 10 years of developing that, that's 1980, in 1990s, they had that mall. 10 years after, they were selling the properties after developing the property and then selling it. We're selling at 10 to 20,000 per square. Now, you go back, that's going back in time. At present, you go to Ayala and you cannot find a property that's lower than 250,000 per square. That's incremental. That's the incremental property value. No? You are trying to buy the future at today's price. If you were an investor, you would have said, I could have bought a property in Ayala, and probably that property now would have been like 200% more, 300% more than that, no? 2,000% more even. But of course, there are no more properties in that area. But I tell you, there is another property that will have same story. And what is that? That property in the South Road Properties, SRP. Back 2009, when we bidded that 40 hectare, because that's a joint venture project between the city government and Filinvest, no? Our property, the City de Mare is actually a joint venture project between the city government and Filinvest. When we bought that property called Il Corso then, the prices was still between 12,000 to 14,000 per square. That's 2009. Years later, we were trying to buy that property beside us, no? That 19 hectare property beside us, the one I showed you. That's only 2009. After 5 years, we bought that property. It was already at 36,000 per square. Now, 2016, Mayor Osmeña apparently recalled that deed of sale, saying, no, you cannot buy that property at 36,000 per square because the price of the property is already at 100,000 per square. Can you imagine? In just 2009 and then 2016, that's like what, 7 years? And the property has already escalated that much. From 12 to 14,000, currently it's already at 104,000 per square. So that's incremental property value. You tell that story to your investors, and I tell you, your investors would be happy to invest a property in SRP. If all the big players in real estate, are buying piece of property in SRP, then that's already a signal for us, small-time investors, to also look at the potential of the area. Why are they buying? They're buying because they have seen something in it. No, SM is there, Ayala is there, Robinsons is there, no, JG Summit is there, and then Filinvest is there. What's in SRP? And that will give you, it will give your buyers a hint, no, that probably this really, SRP will really be the next big thing in Cebu. Okay, so having said that master plan that SRP is, I'd like us to go and close in to our own development. That's City de Mare. No? City de Mare is our township development or our cityscape development, which actually housed our featured project this morning, the Amalfi. City de Mare is 50.6 hectares in area, 40 hectares residential, and 10.6 hectare commercial. So that's the composition. But of course, inside the residential component of City de Mare, there's also a component for offices, for institution, like there's a civic area there, no, and also lots and lots of open spaces. I can say that this is one of the most low dense development here in Cebu, because if you look at if you try to check on the floor ratio, floor to FRA, no? Floor area ratio, flatten all the buildings, no? Because in the future there will be like more than 120 residential condos inside City de Mare. You flatten all the buildings and rise them all up together, you will only find 2-story high buildings in all of this. So this is how low dense our properties. So there are allocated spaces for open space, no? So we did not really commercialize the entire area. So just to show you our own City de Mare and to give you an idea, I'd like to show you a brief audio-visual presentation of
Video is not playing.
all right. Can I see a thumbs up for those who like the our development? Thumbs up naman dyan to see if you're still okay. Huh? So you like City de Mare? Okay. So let's proceed to discussing more about our township development. So as mentioned, our city de Mare is uh, in terms of area, it's 50.6 hectare development. So it's a township development, and it has uh, different components, no? So hindi lang siya purely residential condos in that area. So since it's a township, it's a complete development. So there's going to be a commercial component, no? So that's why there's Il Corso. There's there are offices, no? There are offices that's going to be built alongside of the road, no? Fronting the city are the front offices, no? Provided for probably for IT and the BPO industry. At the center is the civic area. Now, what's a civic area? Diba, when you're talking about a city, dapat there's also going to be institutions, di ba? Para maging kompleto talaga, para maging kompleto talaga yung entire experience. So what institutions are we expecting inside the civic area? So number one, there will be a school inside the civic area. So there's going to be a school. There's going to be a church and also a medical facility inside. Huh? So you can just imagine that if you're living inside, kumpleto na. For others, they're claiming na, oh, we're a master plan development. We're a township. However, they really don't have an institution inside their development. So wala silang church, wala silang school. They're just trusting on the institution outside of their development. In our case, we're going to really, no? So there's really an area dedicated for that. So there's the civic area, and of course the residential component, no? So right now there are two existing residential clusters inside City de Mare. One is the high-end residential cluster, of which is the featured project this morning, Amalfi, and the other one is the mid-end known as San Remo. So with the completeness of the component, we are seeing that this city, no, a city within Cebu City, will have more life. Why? Because it has the live, work, and play environment. Number two, more space. As I've said, we are only building around 40% of that. 60% is allocated to open spaces. So it's a low dense community. And number three, more options. No, we offer different mix of products to suit and to suit one's taste and one's needs. So if gusto mo ng high end, there's high end. If you want mid end, there's mid end. If you want ultra high end, in the future we will also be building ultra high end communities inside City de Mare. So that's how diverse, that's how complete that development is. So meaning in the future, if you're living inside, you don't need to go outside to get whatever it is that you need. No, it is already complete. All you need is already inside. So these are the two existing residential cluster inside City de Mare. You have Amalfi, and then you have San Remo
Hello, Miss Ange. Miss Ange, nawala po kayo. Guys, I think na-disconnect po si Miss Angeline Racaza. I'm pretty sure she will join us again.
Ma'am, kanina ba, hindi namin nakita, wala mo nakita ng video of white sounds.
Yes, I understand that, no? Kasi it will, the video presentation will depend also sa internet connection nung nag-play. So probably there is a challenge with the internet connection of Miss Angie, but we will send na lang po the copy of the video. We are just asking permission po from the project development team regarding the video presentation. But rest assured that all marketing materials will be sent to your email. So please leave your email address in the chat box para po ma-send namin later yung mga marketing materials. So while waiting for Miss Angie, I also suggest that if you have questions regarding the City de Mare, because we are right now, alam nyo, ang maganda doon sa presentation ni Miss Angie, no? She focuses not only on the project but also on the entire location, di ba? Kung mapapansin nyo, nag-umpisa muna siya with Cebu. Why Cebu is a best place or region na mag-invest ang ating mga buyers and also potential clients. And then after that, she went inside SRP or South Road Properties, di ba? So may mga questions po ba tayo? Ang price range po, later malalaman natin siya. We will go there for sure sa price range. And probably we can request also na magpakita si Miss Angie ng isang sample computation para po sa...
Hi, ma'am. I have a question. I am from Rebap National. Actually, I am not from Cebu. I'm here based in Manila. But then, I just want to find out, ilang percent na ang completion nitong City de Mare? Thank you. I'm done with my question, ma'am.
Hello, sorry po, nawala din ako. Na-disconnect din po ako.
Hello
Ano ba yan?
everyone, I am back. I'm so sorry, na-disconnect yung net ko. I'm happy that you're still there. Sorry ha. So we're discussing now Amalfi. So I'd like to share again my screen. Yeah, let me just share to you my screen. Okay. Kita po ba? Okay ba? Kita? Okay. Sige. So, as mentioned, there are 2 existing residential clusters now inside our township development. So, you have Amalfi, which is the premier brand, premier or prestige brand of Filinvest. And then we have San Remo Oasis belonging to the Aspire brand. Now, ayaw ma-push. Ayaw gumalaw. Okay. So I'll be discussing about Amalfi already. So Amalfi, as I mentioned, is one of the residential cluster inside City de Mare. So in terms of area, it's around 4.5 hectares, but there will only be like 9 residential condos inside that 4.5 hectare development. So 9 residential buildings, 5-story in height lang yung lahat ng building. So MRB, mid-rise buildings lang yung i-build inside Amalfi. So this is the SDP or Site Development Plan. We have 2 entry points in Amalfi. If you look at this number here, 6 is like entry point. This is the gate of Amalfi, and there's another gate here as well. So dalawang entrance and dalawang gate, no? Meron Amalfi. So Amalfi is a gated community. When you enter Amalfi, When you enter Amalfi, you have to go down the basement kasi there are no roads uh, on sa ibabaw ng Amalfi. But when you enter, you have to go down the basement and access all the buildings via the basement road. So, ang road network ng Amalfi is actually underground. So, it's very safe for the kids, no, to play on the ground level because there will be no cars, no, hitting them. So, walang mga cars on the ground level because the cars will be underground. So, there's a basement parking for each building. So, every building will have their own respective basement parking. So currently, we have 3 buildings existing in Amalfi. All of these buildings are ready for occupancy. So RFO na siya. So if you look at the entire Cebu, very limited na lang yung mga RFO units dito. So if we have more RFO units na in Amalfi, then probably you can share that also to your buyers, no? For looking for properties to live, properties to rent, no? So meron tayong maraming RFO units here. So total inventory ng 3 buildings is close to 450, no? Close to 450 units. But currently around 50 to 60% na ang sold out ng entire Amalfi. So yun yung inventory ng Amalfi. The buildings inside Amalfi is comprised of the linear buildings here and the cluster buildings. No? Inside the cluster is where the amenity area is. This is where the amenity area is located. So you have here world-class amenities, resort-like amenities like the swimming pool, no? Meron tayong 4 kinds of swimming pool inside. So merong 50 meter lap pool, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, lap pool. There's an adult pool, there's a kiddie pool, and there's even a jacuzzi, no? So that's how those are the what's consisting in this area, no? This is the pool area. Then there's a clubhouse. The clubhouse is so big, it actually has like 3 function rooms that can be used aside from the lobby, no, downstairs, where we hold our investors night and our weekly closing events, no? Doon kami sa lobby, usually we're doing that. And then there's a fitness gym inside. So later on, I'll show you some pictures. So this is the shot of the pool. And of course, these are some beauty shots of Amalfi. This is the clubhouse. Where in the clubhouse, there's also a water fountain on the other side of the cluster. So the other side of the cluster is the swimming pool, and then on the other side is the fountain area and where the gazebos also are. This is the lobby of the house. And then these are the function rooms. So we have like 3 function rooms. Dalawang big function room and 1 private, intimate function room for our residents. And then there's a library as well. No? Here, this is the gym. And some walk paths and jogging trails. So more views about Amalfi. What we're selling in Amalfi are only 2 inventories. You have the 2-bedroom, size 56.79, and you have a 3-bedroom, size 113.58. So a 2-bedroom is around 7.5 million TCP. No? Total contract price na yan, including na yung mga miscellaneous, and also the VAT, no? The VAT. So that's around 7.5 BCP, and then for a 3-bedroom, that's around 16 million. So it's double the size of a 2-bedroom unit. Now, of course, on the other side is the mid-end cluster, the San Remo. Just some quick lang na ano on San Remo. So these are also some of the shots of San Remo. Later on, if merong magtanong lang sa akin about San Remo, I'll just answer. No, I will not discuss in thorough lang San Remo, just to show you the difference between Amalfi and San Remo. So even if it's mid-end, but yung mga amenities niya are also very beautiful as well. So a 2-bedroom unit in San Remo is priced at 29.87, and it's ranging between 4.2 to around 5.7 million already at this time. And for a studio unit, since we don't have any more studio units, so hindi ko na lang nilagay yung price because fully sold out na yung studio sa San Remo. But with our upcoming building, no, we will be rolling out a new building in San Remo. So siguro we can have like another set of a webinar or a PKS just like this. What's the difference between Amalfi and San Remo? So here, there are two, I'll just show you some differences. So the brand, Amalfi is a premier brand, so it's a prestige brand, and while San Remo is an Oasis brand belonging to the Aspire. In terms of area, Amalfi has 4.5 hectares, while San Remo only around 4 hectares. Number of buildings, 9, and then San Remo has 8. Average unit per building, 150, while in San Remo is 172. And then the inventory, so for standard 2-bedroom in Amalfi, as I've said, 56.79. Standard 3-bedroom is 113.58. However, if your buyer wants a 3-bedroom pero a little bit lesser in price, so we have a non-standard at around 85 square meters. So just to give you a picture how dense Amalfi is, aside from the height, because it's only 5-story high, 4.5 hectares, you have 9 buildings at 150 average units per building. So you have like more or less more than 1,000 units occupying in a 4.5 hectare community. Going back to some of our competitors here in Cebu, we have one in Cebu Business District. It's around 3 hectares in area, 2.7 hectares. There are 4 high-rise buildings with 1,000 units per building occupying a 2.7 hectare development. So times 4, because there are 4 buildings, like 4,000 occupants in a 2.7 hectare development. So can you just compare how low dense our development is? 1,000 units inside 4.5 hectares versus in some of our competitors, 4,000 units inside a 2.7 hectare development. So that's how low dense our community is. The similarity also of San Remo and Amalfi is that in terms of density, we're both 65% open space. So we're just developing 35% of the entire area. Say for the kids to be on the ground, for you to do your jog, early jog in the morning, no? So no cars will be hitting you, hindi makakasabaga sa inyo because all the cars are underground. And then the building types are all MRB. So except lang for San Remo, of which the new building will be around 8-story high. And then this design is, of course, Italian inspired. You say Italian inspired, it's like a classic design, big windows, porches, no? So those are the kind of building design that Amalfi and San Remo has. And then when you're talking about the amenities, both have resort-like amenities. Kaya lang, mas maraming amenities si Amalfi, of course, being high-end and mas magaganda. But of course, you cannot also discount on the amenities of San Remo as well. So I come now to the what's in it for me part. So I hope that you will be excited, no? After hearing all these wonderful things about Amalfi. So what's in it for me, as a seller? So number one, of course, you will earn big commission. Imagine if you are selling just one unit of a two-bedroom, your commission, if you are like a seller,
Miss Ange. Oo, parang naputol na naman po si Miss Angie. Okay, while waiting for Miss Angie to be reconnected, I'm gonna send you the marketing material for Amalfi. Okay, let me just get it po. Here na lang sa chat box para hindi na po natin isend sa email. So, let me just get it po for you, ha. Wait lang po.
shaking.
Ayan na si Miss Angie. Hello, ma'am. Alright.
Resurrected
It's okay,
again.
ma'am. No problem. It happens. Sige. I'll give the mic to Miss
Okay,
Angie.
thank you, Shane. So we have come to that part now. What's in it for me na? No? So why would you want to sell Amalfi? You would want to sell Amalfi because of its big commission. Imagine just selling two-bedroom unit, you can already earn as much as 180,000. Sell a three-bedroom unit, that's like 420,000. So what can you do with the 180,000? So you can be financially independent already. Pay your bills, mortgages, loans, credit cards, whatever, no? Provide a good education for your children. Send them to private schools. Be secured by financial plans, life insurances, etc. And then you can use this as your first step of investment. Like you can use this as a down payment to your dream house or dream car or dream property. And but not only your needs but also your wants. So you can do so much with that amount, no? The 180 to 420,000, just one unit. Another is, wait, ayaw mag-move. So next is, you enjoy cash incentive. So si Amalfi, hindi lang pala commission. You also have cash incentive, especially that we have the promo, the RFO promo. So what's the cash incentive all about? So by closing one unit, on top of your 180,000 commission, you can get as much as 15,000 to 30,000 per unit as cash incentive, representing 0.25 of TSP or the total selling price. Diba ang ganda? No? You cannot just, you already have the commission, but you can use this cash incentive for other means pa. You can make your grow pa. You can use this as for whatever purpose you would want. Next is travel local or international. By selling only 4 units from January to June 30, you can already qualify to travel to either Ilocos Norte, Panglao, or Boracay for 3 days and 2 nights for free. Do you want that? No? 4 units, January to June 30, 4 units, and you can already have free travel local. Then if you sell 8 units from January to December 31, 2020, you'll qualify to travel to either New Zealand, Russia, or United Kingdom for 5 days and 4 nights for free with pocket money pa. Diba? Ang saya-saya, no? So, hindi lang commission, hindi lang incentive, you also have this travel perks, no? If you can close 4 or 8 units, no, of Amalfi. What else? Then you also have AdCom, no? You can mobilize your business through AdCom. How much is the AdCom? Diba? We all know that 50% of the reservation fee is being given to sellers as advance commission, right? Now, since Amalfi is like 50,000 in terms of reservation fee, so 50% of that, 25,000, is your advance commission. So it makes you mobile. So pwede ka nang ma-expand pa ng business mo. You can use this to finance your business. Pwede ka na mag-subscribe ng Zoom para hindi ka na napuputol, no? You can already use high grade, you can upgrade your internet, no, para mas faster yung internet connection mo, and so on and so forth, no. And this is released upon IREC. What's IREC? IREC, initial requirement, or upon booking, no? Booking of sale, you can already get 50% of that AdCom, and then the other 50% is when you you submit all the complete requirements of the buyer. Diba? So, ang daming perks, ang daming pwedeng, ang dami palang makukuha from Amalfi. And of course, number 5 is that opportunity to sell a prestige project. Diba? It's a good feeling that you're able to sell such kind of project na alam mo na it's really a good investment. It's a world-class project. No? So this is an opportunity already. No? It gives you pride, and it gives you also your buyers, not just you, but also your buyers, that pride of getting one. What else? And number 6 is the attractive payment term for buyer. So especially now that we have a promo, ano yung payment term ni Amalfi? So our attractive payment term with our RFO promo is that your buyer can already choose to move in for a minimum of 2.5% down payment of the TCP, no, down payment. And then the 7.5%, kasi 1090 to, bank financing, 2.5, if you want to move in, you pay the 2.5, and then get the letter, bank letter of guarantee.
Ayan. I think may mahina yung connection ni Miss Ange, no? But right now, I'm attaching the station material of Amalfi in our chat box, so you can check it later, and you can click on it to open it later. Okay po ba? Lahat po ba tayo may natutunan? And gusto po natin yung project? Thumbs up naman po dyan. Okay po ba? Okay naman so far? Ayan. So I've successfully attached the PDF file of the Amalfi sales kit. You can check it in our chat box. Just click on it, and then you'll be able to open the file and save it in your computer or in your phone. If the phone has a PDF player po, pwede po natin siyang i-save. And another good news is that our Amalfi presentation is actually available sa ating website. All you need to do is type in filinvest.com.ph. Ganun lang po kasimple. Okay, if you... yes, hello?
Ay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, naputol kasi ako. So, na ba yung attractive payment term for the buyer?
Po?
Nakuha na ba nila yung payment term?
Yes, ma'am. Doon ka sa hindi ka naman masyadong mahaba na naputol, but you may continue na po. Ayan.
Okay, so as mentioned, because we have that RFO promo, so very attractive yung payment term for the buyer. If the buyer wishes to move in already, what they can do is just pay 2.5%, ask for bank approval. So if they have the letter of guarantee already from the bank, they can move in. The 7.5, they will still pay to Filinvest as down payment. So hindi pa sila magbabayad sa bank. They can continue to pay so for 24 months, no? So pwede pa silang to pay the 7.5 stretch pa up to 24 months, and then the 90% through bank financing. Pwede naman if the buyer has no hurry in moving in agad, they can like stretch the entire 10%, so that 10% spread in 24 months, and then kung like let's say on the 6th month naka-reach na siya ng 2.5 and he gets the letter of guarantee from the bank, then he can actually apply, he can actually already move in, no? Just submit the bank letter of approval, the letter of guarantee to Filinvest, then he or she can already move in. So sample computation, for example, for a 2-bedroom at
'Yan, nasa sample computation na tayo. So don't worry. Ayan. I am now the file in the chat box, and para po dun scroll up nyo lang po yung file. Ayan. Kasi natatabunan po siya pag may nag-chat, umaakyat po yung ating chat box. Anyway, again, the website is .com.or Filinvest. Ayan. I think Miss Angie is here. Miss Ange, are you here na po? Ayan. Si Sir Simone Ruiz, sabi niya, Sir Michael, I have it. I can send it to you. Okay po, guys, para po dun sa mga mga naka-unmute. We are still waiting na lang po kay Miss Ange.
Shane?
Ayan. So far naman po, ayan. Hello, Miss Ange.
Hello. Last slide.
Yeah, you're in the last slide na.
Everybody has learned something from my presentation this morning. Sorry ha, napuputol yung internet ko.
Yes, Miss Ange. Sobrang ganda ng presentation. Okay lang yan, mga commercial, Miss Ange. Sige po, I'll give Miss Leticia, pakimute naman po ng mic ninyo, ma'am. Leticia.
Yes.
Makita, Miss Leticia. Miss Leticia, pakimute po ng mic. Saan ba si Miss Leticia? Ayan. Thank you.
Sige, so that actually is the last slide of my presentation. So I'm hoping that all of you was able to learn something from my presentation. And if you have questions, the floor is now open. So Shane?
All right. So we are now open for questions. I highly suggest na wag na lang po kayong mag-unmute. What you can do is type it in the chat box para po ako na lang po ang magre-relay for everybody. Ayan, para po yung inyong mga background na mga dogs and cats hindi po natin marinig. Ayan. So meron ditong tanong, Miss Ange. Ma'am, what banks is accredited to finance the 90% balance?
Okay, so we have actually identified banks, PS Bank, BDO. We also have PNB is also a partner, and UCPB and RCBC and Maybank as well. And China Bank pala, China Bank.
So almost all major banks pala, Miss Ange, no,
Yes,
accredited
yes.
with Filinvest.
Almost
So
all major banks.
maganda kung magpa-pre-approve muna, tama po ba? Mas maganda po ba kung magpa-pre-approve muna si seller sa bank or si client?
Well, pwede naman. Pwede naman. That would be, parang it would be safe for your buyers kung gusto talaga nila na to move in and would want a guarantee na maka-move in sila. So, pwede naman na they can have themselves approved by the bank. Pero, we also have that facility wherein if, for example, the buyer already comes in, nagbayad na, we can facilitate for the buyer. So, pwede naman din na kami na mag-forward ng files ng buyer to the bank.
Yes. And ang maganda ngayon sa payment natin ngayon, Miss Ange, everything can be online, can be done online, no?
Yes.
So, no need na to really go to the bank and everything. Yes, for reservation.
I think
Another question. Ayan. So another question would be, if you have the bank guarantee at 2.5%, can we move in while paying the remaining 7.5 daw, ma'am?
Yes. Yes, that's really the purpose of the promo. So, if you already have made payment of the 2.5, and if you already have the bank letter of guarantee, then that is already a signal that we can qualify you to move in already to Amalfi. However, of course, there are some documentary requirements pa man that we will also be required. For example, dapat CREC talaga si buyer. Yun din yung mga requirements ni operation prior to moving.
I see. All right. Ma'am, merong request dito na pwede daw po bang makahingi nung presentation material na ginamit niyo daw po kanina?
My presentation material?
Yes,
sige,
yung presentation material.
Ano ko na lang, PDF file ko muna siya para before ko, kasi parang ano siya mabigat. Send it to you, Shane, para you can share it to them.
Okay. Ayan. So, yan ha. Promise na po ni Miss Angie. Sir Ed, pa-mute po, Sir Ed. Ayan. Promise po ni Miss Angie, bibigyan daw po tayo ng file. Okay, Miss possible na matuloy sa master plan natin. Miss Angie.
Again, Shane.
Miss Angie.
Again, Shane.
Matutuloy na daw po ba yung sa master plan natin? Okay. Sabi po, ang tuloy na daw po yung possible na regional master plan, ang school, hospital, and church. Miss Ange? Hello? Hindi ko alam kung nandito pa si Miss Angie. Nandito pa ba si Miss Angie? Okay. Siguro, ang ano ko po, for me, ang pagkakaalam ko po, Sir Franz, is meron na church. Yon. For hospital, I believe it would be a clinic, not a hospital. Ang church po natin nandun sa nasa civic area as well as the school. Yung mga not preschool, mga elementary school po yun. wala pang update. Kasi ang alam ko po is mga clinic, mga dental clinic at saka family clinic lalagay natin doon sa civic area. Ayan. Bank financing only, pwede pa yung pag-ibig. Sir, Premier projects po yung mga pag-ibig financing. We only provide bank financing po. And so yung deferred, the no interest payment scheme. So sa atin naman ang prestige buyer kasi natin is usually yung mga na elite groups na siya if you are targeting buyers for Amalfi. Yan, yun po siya. Ano pa ba yun nandito? Miss Bang, can you help me with this? Since nakikita kita. Ayan. Miss Bang, LOG needed. LOG po ba needed natin?
For what?
Letter of guarantee.
For the
For
turnover?
Amalfi.
For the turnover?
Wala pong nilagay niya, sa kanya ni Miss Edna kung turnover ba to. But let's assume na it will be for turnover.
Yeah, we need an LOG for the turnover. And
Okay.
also for that, yeah, you're right that it's all for bank financing, not for pag-ibig, because this is a premier project. Yes.
That's
And
correct.
as to the church that you mentioned earlier, nung andito pa si Sir Alan, remember? As far as I knew, they had a conversation with the priest Ateneo, I guess, but it's not ano pa natapos, but ongoing pa yung negotiation with them. Because yung church, i-donate kasi yon. Once you open a church, it will be donated as a public
Yes, that is
owned
correct.
siya.
Yes, that is
There's still a
correct.
lot of consideration with that, knowing that this is a joint venture with the city government.
City government. Yeah, that is correct. All right. Sino po may question? Okay. Wala pong signal. Okay. So, phone signal po. Ito, may nagtanong din po kanina na sales director. Mai-improve daw po ba ang mobile phone signal? That we cannot answer because we are the developer. We are not the service provider ng internet and ng phone. Pagdating po sa internet, I heard okay naman daw po. But for the phone, mobile phone signal, yung mga cellphones natin medyo mahina or usually may mga dead spot. But for me, as a business siguro kung ako ay business player, a major big player ng mga phone service or mga internet provider, because prior to Filinvest, I work with cellular, no. So for me, ang nakikita ko diyan based dun sa mga business meetings namin before, kapag isang area future business hub just like City de Mare and SRT, for sure they will put up internet towers there or mobile phone towers there to make sure that the service that will be provided by Sun Cellular, Smart, or Globe will be better. So let's look at the future na lang yan. Right now, maybe medyo may mga dead spot pa because of hindi pa masyadong fully developed yung area when it comes to mga business establishment. But surely, I'm looking forward na mas maging okay siya. Baka nga mamaya dun pa magtayo ng mas maraming mobile phone sites, 'di ba? Or ng mga towers kasi for sure malaki ang demand for internet and connector. Yun po siya. I think Miss Angie is here. Miss Ange?
Yes, Shane.
Last question na entertain natin. Can we ask for further explanation ng cash RFO promo?
Okay. So the promo we have now it's the early move-in promo and extended DP. So it means that if you have buyers who would wish to move in already, they can do so by just paying 2.5% of the TCP. So I made an illustration a while ago that 2.5 is something like around 190,000. So he gets the approval from the bank and then i-comply niya yung complete requirement to move in. Now, the 7.5, kasi naka 1090 tayo sa bank, the 7.5, buyer will still have to pay that to Filinvest as down payment for 24 months. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa magbabayad si buyer to the bank kahit na naka-move in na siya to the unit, 'di ba? Kasi naka-move in na siya. So, hindi pa siya magbabayad to bank, but he will continue to pay monthly down payment to Filinvest for as low as mga around 22 to 23,000 per month. That's how low it is, no? So you can just imagine na meron kayong mga buyers diyan, mga foreign buyers dyan who's renting like 50,000, 60,000, 80,000 per month. So this is now the opportunity for them kasi imagine if they're paying like 80,000 per month. So 1 month deposit, 2 months 2 months deposit, 1 month parang security bond. So mas malaki pa yan compared to paying the move-in fee na paying the what's this the 2.5 2.5 down payment para maka-move in siya, and then yung monthly na lang niya for like 23 months is only like mga 22 to 23,000 per month. So very affordable na sa kanya. So I would encourage all of you that this promo is really attractive, very attractive yung payment term for the buyer. So go for it. Tell your buyers already the good news.
Oh, yan. Okay. May mga question po ba? Thank you, Miss Ange. Thank you for the help, Miss Bam. So, I think wala na pong tanong. I will take note all of your email address here. I already saved the chat. And I will wait na lang for the PDF file na isi-send ni Miss Angie so that I can forward the presentation material to you. Okay, so thank you once again to our speaker or guest speaker, our Assistant Vice President for Sales in Cebu, Miss Angeline Piracala. And thank you, sales leaders, for joining. Maraming salamat po. I hope to see you again. We're planning to have another session next week for a different naman po na project. Maybe a project in Davao naman po next week. So thank you so much. Wait na lang po tayo sa ating invite. Maraming salamat. God bless po sa ating lahat.
Salamat.
Happy sailing po.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Angie.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Shane.